talk to you.
Hey, it's your friend Simi.
Country Park must do everything we can to prevent it and never give it any oxygen.
That boy just out here. Maybe a month ago, the thing is with the guy. This time, putting in my face, they put it talking shit. We had a conversation. I asked him what time could he. Guess what? I've been getting back because of you.
Yeah, that was the fuck with from mama. I have to respect them when it comes to murder. Yeah. Talking about you cussing my church. They don't want to call my church bastards and all type of shit like that. I ain't gonna do no bastard. You call my child a bastard. You call my child a big bastard. I correct you on what a bastard is. That's what it is. Yeah, that was a fuck. You can say what the fuck you want. Ain't nobody, care what you should say.
Why he mad? Who mad?
Nobody mad.
The
I'm
boss
not
my
mad.
boy's fat ass.
I'm not mad.
The boss my raggedy ass.
You think you say you get 1,500 a day? I don't give a damn. Nigga, fucking come out the next year. I don't care.
Hope you already got there some promotion for this. But the motherfucker that's sleeping in my house ain't doing a motherfucking thing.
That's what's up.
Talking shit. Sorry. If I get 4 niggas with something.
That's what you got to happen.
Whoa. Anything, that's what that means. It's resolved. We are free to go about our separate ways. Anything that's financed out here, I'm responsible for that. I'm responsible for the tax debt. I'm taking all of it. I'm taking all of it. You didn't know. My whole thing taking all of it. Wait a minute. Because you ain't paying off none of these fucking credit cards. You ain't paying for none of this shit. You ain't paying the FBI loan back for my business. None of that shit. You ain't paying none of that shit.
Oh, you don't have a good life, you know.
Well,
Get the
I
food.
had to stop it.
Get the food, baby.
I sure had to stop it.
I wouldn't
Because
have
your ass
eaten
ain't
no
giving me no
food.
goddamn money to pay for these tags and
Oh,
shit.
shit.
I sat there and cried to us.
I'm
When I
eating
paid
no
for them
food.
tags for that boy named Mr. Madden, you ain't paid for $50. You told me you help me pay the taxes back.
Whoa,
For me
shit.
trying to get in this house. I've been paying it. $309 a fucking month. You ain't help me do that shit. You ain't help me do nothing. I got out of your pocket. You ain't help me do that.
New brisket loaded fries, part of the Street Food Fest, only at Taco Cabana.
At first store,
agent, walking the golf course perimeter, saw what appeared to be a rifle poking out of the tree line. After the agent fired the service weapon in the direction of the rifle, a witness saw a man later identified as Ralph fleeing the area in the tree line. Ralph was later apprehended by officers from the Martin County Sheriff's Office in coordination with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. The complaint alleges that in the area of the tree line from which Ralph fled, agents found a digital camera, a backpack, a loaded SKS-style rifle with a scope, and a black plastic bag containing food. The serial number on the rifle was obliterated. According to the complaint, Ralph was convicted of felonies in North Carolina in December 2002
Stupid.
and March
Right now,
2010.
right now they're playing us
Therefore,
stupid. They're actually playing us stupid.
possesses a firearm.
They just want us to be.
The FBI is leading this investigation, this ongoing investigation. As the Attorney General stated earlier today, the FBI is continuing its investigation of this incident as an assassination attempt upon the former president. The investigation remains at its early stages. The entire Justice Department, including the FBI, the United States Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Florida, and the National Security Division, are coordinating.
Man, we don't need none. We don't need all y'all.
And prosecute this matter.
We don't need all
The
y'all.
charges we're announcing reflect the strong collaboration of the agencies represented here. The U.S. Attorney's Office, the Department of Justice, would be unable to carry forth our mission without the invaluable assistance of an federal, state, and local law
Live,
enforcement.
no.
I'd
Or
like to
fuck.
thank Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. And we have Chris Robinson here, Special Agent in Charge. And your circuit
Live now on Fox.
They are providing, they have been providing. I would also like to recognize the Palm
Live
Beach
now,
County
my husband had no idea how we went from paying $156 a month to $29 a month for
National Security Division for their non-stop work over the last 24 to 30 hours.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
I want to personally thank-
Together we'll continue
More bullshit by the super bullshitters.
to work tirelessly to ensure accountability and the pursuit of justice. At this time, I will invite FBI Special Agent in Charge Jeff Beltry to the podium. After Special Agent in Charge
Look how quick they came with all the evidence.
Beltry completes his remark,
Look how quick they come to giving us
Acting Director of the U.S. Secret Service, Ron
answers.
Rowe,
We don't need all these agencies working for Donald Trump. We don't trust none of y'all.
provide remarks before we open the floor for a few questions.
All comments will be limited. Thank you very much.
On our end, given that this is a pending matter before the court and the investigation is ongoing, all comments will be limited. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. For a quick introduction, my name is Jeffrey Beltry, FBI Special Agent in Charge of the Miami Field Office. The FBI immediately responded to the scene here in West Palm Beach, Florida, and we are investigating this matter as an apparent assassination attempt of former President Trump. We view this as extremely serious and are determined to provide answers as to what led up to the events which took place. I want to emphasize we're just a little over 24 hours into this investigation, so we're going to provide as much as we can publicly while our investigation is still ongoing. We must also stress that the United States Attorney's Office is pursuing charges, and that limits some of the details that we can discuss publicly. Yesterday afternoon, Martin County Sheriff's Office took custody of Ryan Ralph, and he was transported back to Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Our FBI agents then attempted to interview him, and he invoked his right to an attorney.
Did you know that there are some words of Hebrew that sound just like English, but they mean something else in Hebrew? For example, elephant, which is a peel.
The man suspected of plotting to assassinate the former US President Donald Trump has been charged with 2 federal gun crimes. 58-year-old Ryan Wesley Ruth was charged with possession of a firearm as a convicted.
Fake news, fake news. Trump 2025, get rid of fake news if you want to stay alive. Clear the,
criminal, as well as
The warrants include a video
clean the White House,
possession of a firearm with an
Train the swamp.
obliterated serial number. The U.S. authorities have confirmed that the suspect fired no shots on the golf course where the Republican presidential candidate was playing. Mr. Trump has blamed the incident on the rhetoric of his Democrat rival, Kamala Harris. President Biden has questioned whether the U.S. Secret Service have enough resources to protect senior American politicians. John Dennison reports.
56 from the U.S. From North Carolina.
This is Ryan Routh, now 58, speaking 2 years ago in Ukraine, where he'd volunteered to fight against Russia. He's now in custody in Florida after he allegedly turned his sights on Donald Trump with an attempted assassination of the former president.
They blocked it off.
Routh was detained on one of the main highways heading out of Florida. Pictures taken by a passing motorist show a large number of police surrounding a vehicle. Routh was driving the black car, seen here on the side of the road. Donald Trump was playing golf on his own course when a number of gunshots were heard. A Secret Service agent had spotted a rifle being pointed from bushes at the edge of the course.
They have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at. And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual, at which time the individual took off.
The police
What a coincidence.
recovered what they say is an AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks containing ceramic tiles, and a GoPro camera.
We are not sure right now if the individual was able to take a shot at our agents, but for sure our agents were able to engage with the subject.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. It's just a matter of weeks since the last assassination attempt on Donald Trump. He was shot and injured at a campaign rally in Pennsylvania. Just moments later, he was on his feet and shouting, "Fight, fight," to the crowd. After this latest attempt, the former president put out a brief statement. "I am safe and well," he said. "Nothing will slow me down. I will never surrender. The job done was absolutely outstanding. I'm very proud to be an American." Vice President Kamala Harris said, "I am deeply disturbed by the possible assassination attempt of former President Trump. We all must do our part to ensure that this incident does not lead to more violence." Police have raided Ryan Routh's home in North Carolina. In previous news interviews and on social media, he urged people to travel to Ukraine to fight against Russia. It's one potential line of inquiry that may point to a motive. Donald,
You cannot trust nothing that the CIA,
Trump left his golf
Secret Service, or fake news. I feel like it's just the FBI and the Secret Service trying to make themselves
under
relevant.
heavy security.
Make themselves relevant.
A few hours after the thwarted attack, there will be questions about how a man with a rifle was able to get so close to the former president.
Again.
But Donald Trump has praised the Secret Service for their response and says he will continue to campaign this week. John Donnison, BBC News.
Well, speaking at the White House, President Biden said Congress should consider whether the Secret Service needed more resources to protect senior politicians.
Want to spend more money. Want to spend more money. Look, want to spend more money. Want to spend more money. See, look. Look, more money, what?
March, I think that they may decide whether they need more personnel.
You know that bitch need more money. That's why I say personnel.
Okay, so put a
He
finger
ain't
down
want to say
if you and your
he don't want
spouse
to
have
say
two cars
money.
and recently
So he
started
said
dating almost
personnel. If you know you mean money, bitch.
President Biden, you just about make out the audio there. Let's speak to our North American correspondent, Tom Bateman, who's in Florida for us. Tom, just tell us what happened earlier today with the court case.
Well, just over an hour or so ago, we had a little more than a 10-minute court hearing, very short, where Ryan Ralph was led in a blue jail jumpsuit. He was handcuffed, and he was able to sit next to his defense attorney. There were a few minutes where we were able to observe him before the judge came into the court. He sat smiling repeatedly.
Man, they talking about this more in
During the conversation with her. We couldn't hear that, but it would seem to be she was just trying to explain to him how the proceedings would work. When the judge came in, he was sworn in. Mr. Ralph was sworn in and spoke to confirm his name, and also, as his rights were read to him, repeatedly saying, "Yes, Your Honour." And then there was a series of exchanges where the judge asked him about his financial situation to see if he qualified for public defence. Now, notably in that, he said that, in his words, he had zero funds when he was asked about whether or not he could afford an attorney. Apart from, he said, 2 trucks that he owned in Hawaii worth $1,000 each. He also said he had a dependent son, a 25-year-old son, but occasionally needed help from him. And then the charges were read to Ryan Ralph. Now, he is charged with 2 federal offences, the first of which was possession of a firearm by a prohibited person, namely a convicted felon. So we had confirmation there that he has previous criminal conviction. And secondly, possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. Now, there was no plea entered. This was purely about an initial hearing. And the judge...
Get you something that you could actually pour gas out of.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. I'm going to start off this video with 2 words. Holy moly. In fact, we should probably make it 3 words. Holy frickin' moly. Once again, I guess we got the tinfoil hat on. Except honestly, at this point, I don't think that image fits us anymore, considering we tend to be on the money with these supposed theories. Less theories and more just conspiracies. As I've often said, we've played a lot of clips relating to this issue. We've been speaking about it for years. The Democrats' clear and obvious plan to change the American electoral map through this illegal migration scheme. It's so freaking obvious what they're doing. Everyone can see it. Even left-wingers like Joe Rogan essentially openly admit it.
What is that allowing people to come in through the southern border? Do you think that what's going on, and this is what the argument that I've heard, is 2 things that happen. One, like in New York City, the mayor, I believe Eric Adams, said that he believes that illegal immigrants should be allowed to vote. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating thing to say, because as soon as you say that, and then you're also letting people in, they know that the people that are allowing them to vote are people in the Democratic Party. So you're basically allowing people to come in, because those are the people that are interested in allowing people to come in illegally, right? Those are the ones that don't fight it. And then once they're in,
the truth makes sense. It's the
you want them to...
It's the make-believe nonsense that stops you from using common sense.
Be able to vote. So you're essentially saying, hey, we got you in, you know who to vote for, because we're the people that let you in.
I mean, it's so freaking obvious to everyone. Kamala Harris is pretending to be a border hog as she releases ads with Donald Trump's border wall. Meanwhile, this is her track record.
It is wrong to somehow suggest that an undocumented immigrant is a criminal. Being an undocumented immigrant is not a crime. I know what a crime looks like. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal.
And meanwhile, Nancy Pelosi, like last week, said this.
Excuse me?
So you'd vote for this one?
Well, I'm not familiar with exactly what it is, but making the American dream of home ownership
available to all people is something we have to do for people who are here now.
This is before your resolution. It's undocumented. This is for the undocumented.
Well, what I would like to do is move them to documented.
They're obviously up to something, and when you look and analyze the data, which some people have done here online in an X thread, well, it makes that plan quite obvious. This might just be a hostile takeover of the nation through its elections. Let's have a conversation about that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, friends, so we got a post here from Data Hazard on X, who goes by @Fentasil, using CBP data. Here it is. He says, did you think Kamala Harris was flying them to Martha's Vineyard? 81%, that's 362,000 out of 448,000 of her irregular Haitian migrants somehow went to states that voted against her in 2020. If you look closely at the graph, you can just barely see when she started flying them into your neighborhood. And so obviously the red portion of the bar represents the migrants that were flown into red states and the blue into Democrat. And obviously right away, I mean, this is intuitive to me. A lot of people are asking in the comments, where's this data coming from? Where are your sources? You know, the left wing.
Flown in with our tax money.
Just want to try to debunk this one, of course. And by debunk, I mean, just ask, where's the sourcing, bro? And then
Flown in.
Disappear, dismiss the whole thing as if it never happened. Well, apparently Data Hazard responds, claiming he took the data from CBP's numbers. There was even a detractor in the comments who plotted the data accurately with an open source link to his code, uploaded on GitHub, as you see right over here. And just to add to the credibility, Elon Musk also retweeted this thread with the caption that states, massive voter importation to make swing states permanently blue and turn America into a one-party state. It is rational from the Democrat Party standpoint, as it guarantees victory if successful. So I kind of went on a little bit of a detailed rant there, but the point that I was initially trying to make is that left-wingers are questioning if the data is accurate, but personally, I didn't even have to go there because it just seems so intuitive. It's exactly what we've seen over the last couple of years, really over the last 8 years. It all started back in 2016 when Donald Trump came down that golden escalator, announcing his run for president and claiming he was going to be tough on the border. Democrats then, of course, selectively edited his statements, inaccurately portraying him as racist and hateful, claiming that all Mexicans are RABISTSs. Then, of course, the kids in cages narrative. They tried to paint Donald Trump, I don't know, like some sort of Hitler, but with Mexicans. It sounds crazy when you say it, but it's literally exactly what happened. And so they then set up this situation where they could set up sanctuary cities and sanctuary states. But we saw throughout this entire time how these sanctuary cities that were far away from the southern border were never actually taking on the brunt of the illegal migration crisis. We've been talking about it for years, and so it comes as no surprise. You know, that was the whole reason Greg Abbott and Ron DeSantis were busing migrants to sanctuary cities. And of course, over the years, we've learned about all these migrant movement programs, supposedly late in the night migrant flights to various destinations. And late last year, or maybe early this year, Fox News was reporting how 20,000 Haitian migrants were being sent to a small town in Ohio with only 58,000 people or residents. You know, slowly but surely, the bricks adding up, except in this case, they're multicolored bricks. And the end result is a mosaic. You see the whole picture. The Democrats plot to take over elections forever. Is it really surprising? They're allowing these migrants into the nation and placing them in strategic zones where they need to bolster their support. And of course, what's the second part of the plan? Trying to sneak amnesty. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Kamala Harris is the Trojan horse. Get her to the presidency and in comes an executive order granting amnesty to all illegals. Is it realistic? Will it stand up in the Supreme Court? You know, probably not. Likely unconstitutional. But you know, that's the next logical step. We already have Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi essentially saying they want amnesty. How many times have they tried to sneak amnesty inside, you know, big government spending bills where it has no place being sign on to the bill or else kind of thing, holding the nation hostage with this aggressive, hostile takeover? I'm going to say it again, it is so freaking obvious. And you know, it's been a while since I've revisited this. The original description that I wrote for this channel, when I launched it back in 2019, liberal hive mind, former liberal, looking to shine light on the hypocrisy that pushed me away from the left. You know, it's this kind of stuff, the kind of thing that is just so crazy, it just can't be associated with it. Amendment. I support a nation's sovereignty, protecting its border, preserving a nation's culture, especially a great nation, preserving the culture that made it great, supporting family, the creation of children, and of course the continuation of that culture. But what the Democrats represent these days is the destruction of culture, the destruction of nation. You know, this year they decided to wave American flags at the DNC, but we know what their supporters are doing outside the DNC, and that's burning the American flag. The Democrats support the destruction of the family. They make fun of J.D. Vance when he suggests federal initiatives that would incentivize childbirth. No, the Democrats don't want any of that. They don't want patriotism. They don't want more Americans. They want to continue to destroy the American dream, destroy the American family. Who needs to have children and grow your population when you can simply import loyal voters that will keep you in power forever? And well, that, I just simply cannot associate
Bunch of bullshit.
myself with
They
the party
bullshit the shit out of us, man.
style of tactics. I'm just too much of a patriot. I believe in the genius of Western civilization, and I want to see its continuance,
Don't
not
trust
its
y'all.
demise. That's
You
pretty
have to
much
be
it.
an
Anyways, that's
asshole
what
to
I got
trust
for you
y'all,
guys.
man. I
Hopefully
don't
you enjoyed
trust
it. If you
y'all.
did, make sure to leave a like and
I don't trust y'all. I don't trust y'all at all. I don't trust y'all.
Work. They are sound. We saw that yesterday. But the way we are positioned right now in this dynamic threat environment, it has given me guidance to say, you know what, we need to look at what our protective methodology is. We need to get out of a reactive model and get to a readiness model. There could be another geopolitical event that could put the United
All of this
States
was done on purpose.
or some other issue that may
Basically, to
responsibilities and protectees of the United States Secret Service. And so we are making information available to all of our partners. And I just want to say that the commitment of Congress to the Secret Service throughout the years has been tremendous. And we will continue to work with them and Secretary Mayorkas to support in making sure that we're getting what we
man, we don't trust. We don't trust no. We don't trust.
And so we're having these conversations.
Wow. 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 This is slapping. These people really think we stupid. These people really think we stupid. These people really think we stupid. They really think we stupid. These people really think that we are stupid. They think that we stupid. They think that we stupid. They think that we are stupid.
And that requires us to be able to have the funding to be able to hire more people. You can't just give me money and say, hey, we're going to make sure that everybody gets overtime. Because the men and women of the Secret Service right now, we are redlining them. And they are rising to this moment, and they are meeting the challenges right now.
Wow.
And if you look back at their body of work over the last 60 days, Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, Republican National Convention in Chicago, a visit of Prime Minister Netanyahu to Washington, D.C., and to West Palm Beach, which Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office is supporting. And then we go into the presidential debate in Philadelphia last week. And for those in the media that have been to a national special security event, if you saw the National Constitution Center last week, what you saw was pretty much a mini national special security event with a number of assets that won't have room. And so our folks are rising to this moment, but it requires all of us to be able to have good conversations and make sure that we're getting the Secret Service where it needs to be. And I'm confident that we will achieve that. Because we don't have an alternative. Success, we have to have every day. We cannot have this. In order to do that, we're going to have some hard conversations with Congress, and we're going to achieve that. Last question.
This point, we're still scoring, investigating, not happening. Our investigation is still pursuing. Thank you. All right. Anyhow, that's it. I'm not gonna do any more. All right, you got a lot of information there. The last thing I will tell you is, like the director of Secret Service said, you know, the president told me last night, President Trump, he thanked me for everything that we did along with the Secret Service. He knows we worked great together, and he feels safe.
Man, shut the fuck up. Stop lying. Stop lying. Stop lying. I wouldn't feel safe around y'all funky fuckers.
Because the suspect didn't even get close to getting rounded up, and we apprehended him, run for justice. So we're very, very proud of that. Thank you folks for being here.
Bunch of fucking bullshit. They bullshit the shit out of us just now.